Howdy, Possum Patty here, and TT's found a new place to sit. Oh, now she's gonna move. Okay, TT's found a seat in my lap, and we're here to tell you that, yay, it is Tuesday, and that means it is trash day. And now she's back in her usual seat now. Are you back in your usual seat? She's restless. She's moving all over the place. So it's trash day. Come on along. Well, the first thing I want to do is welcome 2 new Trash Tuesday participants. And they are Helen at Moss Cottage and Martha at Martha Makes Art, and I will list them below with all the other wonderful trashy friends that I have. So please visit all of their channels and check out their True Junk Journal, Trashy Journaling, Trash Tuesday videos. But you know, it doesn't have to be Tuesday. You can do it on any day that you want to. Just use the hashtag so people can find you, okay? So it is Trash Tuesday, and if you're a Possum Peep and you've been here for a while, you know that I have my large Trashy, and this one was made out of bags and envelopes, mostly bags, and I've done a lot in here, everything from painting, that was a picture on a Whole Foods bag, I painted it in, to collaging, to die cutting trash, all kinds of stuff. So this is not done yet. I can do more in that one. Then I started one that was a little bit smaller. And this one I was trying to be a little bit more mindful and do some collaging in here with, you know, maybe some words. I was trying to get some verbiage in there. And then there was my holiday trashy, which is actually over on the shelf right now, but I do have some more holiday trash for that. And that was my Merry and Bright journal. And then I have my 3 minis, minis. And this is Papa Possum, Mama Possum, and Baby Possum. So you can see there's 3 sizes. This one is a cough drop box. I did add fabric on the spine there, and lots of collaging fun in here. I've done quite a bit in here. I could still do a lot more. There's a lot more I can do in here. So for trashy journaling, you just make the cover out of packaging or envelopes, anything you want to. Obvious what that one is made out of. This one, as you can see, it's actually a gift bag. But you turn it this way, it's a journal. And then I forgot what this one was. I don't remember. I'd have to look back and see when I made it, what the box was. It was a little box of something. Okay, but I collaged on it. See, I put an artist on there, and I've been working on this one for a little while too, and I've got all kinds of things in there. Sometimes I just glue things in, sometimes I do things on purpose, make a little collage, doesn't matter, whatever you're in the mood for. And this one, I love this vanilla extract, and this is for tall thin trash. So, you know, I'm just doing silly things here. This one actually has painty papers in it. This is a painty paper I made. So you took, just take envelopes, things that come in the mail, and paint on them and make a little book out of it. So trashy journals are just a way to upcycle, recycle, stuff that you would normally throw away, because we throw so much stuff away. It's amazing. So far this was my smallest one, but I got another package and it's even smaller than this. I said, oh, wouldn't that be fun to add to my mini collection? And this is CVS cortisone cream, you know, for itches. But I love the little heart. And I thought, oh, for February I can make like a little heart journal. And I'll show you how I make the little journal. So one of the things I'm going to do today is put together this little journal. So if you're interested in making a journal of any size, it doesn't matter. It's the same procedure. So I'll show you how I do it, and I'll make one little tiny journal. I'm going to show you how I've been organizing my trash behind me. I'll show you that in a little bit. And then I actually want to put some trash in journals. I'm really in the mood to just glue some stuff down. So let's get to it. Okay, well, this is my messy corner. Although it's not that messy right now because I moved some of the mess behind me so you can see what I'm doing over here. And I'm using these jumbo hefty bags. And this is what the box looks like. Jumbo. Get 10 in a box. And I'm trying to organize things. I have a couple of these tubs down in the basement on a table because I just can't fit everything in the room. But here's the pack labeled Chinese that I was working with yesterday. And there is, I still have Christmas garbage in here. And this is for my Merry and Bright Christmas Trashy that I made from a tissue box. So I'm not done with that. So I still have some Christmas stuff in here. And I have, this one is labeled Nutty. And I'm putting all my nut trash in here. And that is for the one I made out of a Planters peanut box. And I'm just putting all my nutty friends in here. So far, I just have Dolores J. Rush. I have one of my sisters. And I have Linda D. down at Linda's Mixed Up Mess in here too. So I'm saving my nutty trashy. So that's for my nutty trashy. And there's a couple of other things in here too. Oh, here's my labels. And one is, this is more trash, and this is more trash. This is trash that I'm saving for my kitty boho. So all my kitty trash is in here, but there's also some kitty journaling things in there too. So I'll put that over there with the Chinese. So that's, well, my gnome books are in here, but I don't know why. What's this? This is, oh, this is stuff that people have sent me in friend mail. So this will go in a journal too. So this is what I was working on because I had so much trash. I was like, oh my gosh, there's just like too much here. So I put, I found a whole bunch of trash I forgot I had that I was saving to use. So I combined it with the trash that I had up here. So everything in this box is like large packaging and magazines and magazine pages and brochures, tea boxes. And I said, well, I'm not going to save anything else until I use up what's in this box. And then we bought some new bake pans for making lasagna. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't throw that away. Look at that red and teal together. That is just too pretty to throw away. I've got to use that, of course, of course. So this is a heavy box of larger stuff and magazines and things. And then I have one bag that is like smaller cardboard bits. So in this bag, it's like cardstock or light cardboard, just smaller bits. So you got to use that. Look at those oranges. Those are gorgeous. Things like that. So I put all of those in one bag. So if I'm looking for a heavier piece, and then I put the things that are like specialty papers, tissue papers, and papers that I have dyed. And I don't know what else is in here. Oh, I got my Braille papers in here. and just some stuff that I printed with, I guess. I don't know. This is parchment paper, wrapping paper, tissue paper, you know, things like that. This one is all junk mail envelopes that come in the mail. And I was jelly printing on some of them, jelly plate printing, or cleaning off my rollers on the papers to make them look pretty. And then this is just smaller, like paper things that are made out of paper, you know, just thinner papers and not like the heavier cardboard stuff. And then this little one is labels, packaging labels, like that. I love die cutting with this. I say it all the time. I love this copper color here. I love to make bees out of that for some reason. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got these 5 bags organized, plus this great big box. And all of this is for Trashy, but not counting my little trash. Now my little trash I have here. So anything that I think is too small or is small enough to go in a smaller Trashy, Mama, Papa, and Baby Trashies, little, you know, little cards and little pieces of scraps and little tiny, what does that say? Hard Rock Cafe, little flags, just little things. Tags that come off of clothes. Things like that. So that's for the little trash. And I hate to say it, but I have a whole collection of stuff over on my desk that I need to find a little box to put that stuff in. Or maybe just find a bigger box and combine this and what's on my desk over there into one that's a little bit bigger. So this is just trash for the Trashies, and this is trash for Christmas and things for my nutty journal and my Chinese journal and all. So this is it right here so far. Not counting all the stuff I have in the basement and all the stuff that's up on the shelf, which is like bought things. Things that are bought are up on the shelf, and these are things that I'm saving to put into journals. So let me show you a little closer up the bucket that has the mini trash in it. And this is from the Dollar Tree. And I was just throwing, you know, little tiny scraps in here, things that would have gotten thrown out, old business cards, tags off of products. And I figured this was small enough to go into one of the smaller Trashies, or even the medium Trashy there, I guess. But this is my messy desk. This is a part you don't usually see. And I've got stuff in this bucket, but what I was talking about before was in the corner of the desk, way back here, is where I've been throwing more scraps. Just, you know, if I cut off a page or make something fit. There's some candy wrappers back here and pieces of magazine. Just a candy wrapper there, that pink one. Just, I don't know, just trash. Just little bits of trash that instead of, you know, throwing out, I just put back here. And I just thought maybe, you know, I can combine it with this one, but I need a bigger box. But what I'm going to grab right now is this box right here, so I can show you something. Oh, look behind the camera tripod here is today's trash. Oh, let's see, it's an advertisement for BJ's. Look at that. I'm not going to throw that away. It's time to check your filtration system, but look at that clock. I can't throw that away. And this was winter savings. Look at that pine branch there. That's got to go in a journal. And then Mr. Possum handed me this envelope. He said, "Do you want that?" I said, "Oh, yeah. Look at all those little pictures on there. Can't throw that away." Oh, boy. All right, and that was just today's mail. Over here with scraps of stuff that I was working on yesterday, I figured I can put into a Trashy, too. So I left my little mini Trashies on the table for now. so I can make some room. Took the big trashies away for right now, because this is the one I want to start. But let me show you how I cut a package. Hemorrhoidal ointment, right? Yeah, getting old is a pain in the hemorrhoids, isn't it? All right, the first thing I'm doing here is looking to see where the box is put together, and the seam is right here, and usually the seam will come off pretty easily by just pulling like this. You can cut it, but usually don't have to, although many of them come off easier than that. All right, so now you have one big open piece, and you already have a spine and a front and a back. So you just trim this down to the size that you want it. Looking for my scissors. So I'm going to cut off this end. And I'm going to cut off the top. Sometimes you can keep a flap on if you want. Put a flap on the inside cover. Okay, throw all these pieces away. And of course it's got to go this way, but that doesn't matter because you're going to cover the top. Now what I like to do is take my paper cutter and trim it up a bit. Doesn't come out perfectly straight when I do it this way, but I'm going to make this smaller. I don't want one that's this big and tall, because I already got a thin, tall one here. I want something more this size. Although this is going to be a little bit wider, so maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'm not going by any kind of exact proportions here. So something like that. Or something like this. That's a little too tall. Let's see. Something like that. I like that. This is a little smaller, and this is a little smaller. So this could be like a whole nother family of mini trashies. So that's how I make the covers. Easy peasy, it's already done for you. All you have to do is take the box apart. So that's the first step. Although I noticed on this one that I kept the part where the two sides are attached only because I wanted this heart on the cover. So I did this one a little bit differently, but this is how I usually do it here. Especially if you're going to collage on the cover, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be harder to poke the holes. I think I'll make 2 signatures, and I pulled out some of those envelopes that I showed you because I'm thinking about using this painty paper here. And I believe I just put these envelopes on the table, and when I was gel plate printing, I cleaned off my brayer on them just to get some color on them before I use them. Okay, now I want my pages a little bit smaller than the book. I'm going to pull these off. So the paper inside, I probably want it to be about just a little bit smaller than that. Now, this is a Trashy. I can cut it with the paper cutter. I can rip it. I can do anything I want. I wonder how many pages I can get out of this. The security envelopes are always fun to use. Okay, probably So you can see how I made it a little bit shorter. You can see some white all the way around like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip up some of these papers. I'm not sure how many yet. I'll let you know when I come back. I cut 5 of these little sheets and put them together. So each one has 4 pages, so that's 20 pages in this signature. And what I'm going to do is fold it in the middle and take my scissors and kind of press that down a little bit, because that's where I'm going to be sewing it in. Open it back up to the middle. I'm going to put a little paper clip on there. These don't have to be exact. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. Like this. So now I have 2 of these. So 20, so this will be 40 pages in this little Trashy. The next thing I'm going to do is make a template. I'm going to cut a scrap piece of paper to the size of the spine and place my holes there and get my sharp tool. That's the size of the spine. Well, that's kind of the size of the spine. I guess it didn't measure very well. That's okay. I'll just place it in the middle. We're not too worried about any kind of accuracy here. All right, so I want 2 signatures. So I need to divide this up to where I'm going to put my holes. How wide is this? This is about 1 inch. I'm not going to measure. What I like to do, is fold the paper in thirds. Although this is cardstock, so it's a little hard to fold. If you fold the paper into thirds, somewhat evenly, like that, you get 2 lines. Great. Fold it in half this way. Now I know where the middle is. Now how far do I want the top and bottom stitch to be? I'll show you all this in a second. So if I come down a little ways from the top, okay, that's where I'm going to put 1 hole. Across from it, there. I've already marked my center with the fold. And then I'm just eyeballing it on that line. So something like that. That looks about right to me. So I'm just going to get a little piece of tape to hold that while I punch the holes. And this is just painter's tape. I'm going to put this in the middle like so. I know a lot of people watching know how to do this. This is my pokey tool here, and I gave Mr. Possum a piece of cardboard. I don't think I got it back, and I just have this big giant one here, which is really too big to do this. Okay, and I'm going to poke a hole through like that. So each signature needs 3 holes, 1 in the middle, and 1 a little ways from the top, and 1 a little ways from the bottom. So that's where it's going to get sewn in. And now I need to do that to the signatures. So I'm going to pull off my template. And you're going to use 1 at a time. So I'm going to place this in the fold. So that is going right into the fold. And I'm just going to poke where those holes are. 1, 2, 3. It's that easy. That's where I'm going to sew it. And now I'm going to use the other set of holes. And this fold is going to go right into that fold right there. Got my tape. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. You need a blunt needle with a large eye and something to stitch with. This is waxed thread, which is really good for binding. These are some scraps that I have. I just kind of balled them all together here because I knew they would be good for something. So let's see. You need about 1, 2, 3. So you need about 3, 3.5, 4. Depends if you want dangles. I have a needle threader here. Like that. Okay, you got a long side and a short side. These are like upholstery needles because they're dull with a big eye. Gonna start in the middle. Go to the middle hole. This is the way I do it. Leave a dangle there. Come down to the bottom. Up through. Come up to the top. Like this. Okay, pull it. Go back through the middle. And you want to make sure you hit that hole there, but that you're not splitting hairs. You don't want to go through the thread that's already there. Okay, pull this tight. So I've got a thread on each side here, like that. I'm going to take the needle off, make this nice and tight. Oops. Check this side. Gonna make a knot. 1, 2, 3, like that. Take off the clips. And there she is. One of the signatures. That's actually the second signature in there. I could trim this a little bit. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer in case I want to put a little charm or something on there. I might add that later. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sew this side in. I keep my tools together, and I don't know, something came in this little plastic box. I have some templates they hang on to, like this is for little golden books. I might have a couple of other ones in here too. Got my pokey tool, my needles, my needle threader, and some of that extra. Oh, I see a needle down there. Excuse me for a minute. Put it back in a little case here. So whenever I want to sew up something, I've got everything right here. Sort of. Not the best container, but it'll do for now. Mr. Possum gave me this little piece of foam to put my pokey tool in so I don't poke myself with it. All right. And then I got some of this extra thread. If you don't have wax thread, you can use embroidery, floss, heavy-duty thread. This is with an embroidery floss. You can use, I don't know, baker's twine, whatever you have. Whatever you have, string. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. All right, I have 2 signatures. So there's actually 40 pages in here right now. And that will fill out once I start adding things to all these pages, plus the inside cover. I'm not going to cover this part because I like that part, but I may put something on the spine and on the back and on the inside. So easy peasy pumpkin squeezy. There is a mini, and again, this is On the outside, almost 1.5 inches by almost 2.5 inches. So just about approximately 1.5 by 2.5. This one is 4 3/4. About, I'm just estimating here, by 1 3/4. So this one's even minier. This is my miniest mini right there. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of gluing. And that is enough binding for today. I'm going to save these because I may make more. I'm going to put them right back here in this trash pile. Then I need to clean up a little bit. And maybe I'll pull some of that trash out. Well, how about today's trash, though? So, why do I have so many little trashies? Well, sometimes you're collaging a page and it might be wet with some Mod Podge or some glue, and you can't turn the pages, and you grab another one and you start gluing in the other one. Or maybe you start with a large piece of trash in the largest one, and then you might have a couple of little scraps left over that you can put in some of the other ones. Now this is going to be too big for any of these. Oh, wait a minute though. Hang on to your horses. This one has fold-outs in it. Let's see if there's a fold-out that is empty. No. No. It's got something in it. Okay. No problemo. I will save that for my other Trashy. But I want this pine branch. And I want that word maybe winter there. I don't need the word saving, but that word winter is nice. Okay, this one I can throw away. And I like this. It's time to. And this has got a pretty cool stamp on it. Looks like an electric eel. Oh, brain coral. But it doesn't say what that eel is there. Like enough light here. It's dark out already. Now I could take this piece of yellow over to my die cutting machine and die cut something out of this. I can do that. I can cut around this a little bit. So when you trash, you just sit here and let your imagination play. Nothing serious. There's some scraps I threw over there. Isn't that pretty? This was from my Chinese book. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm going to put any of this stuff. It doesn't really matter. Go with the flow, looking for a spot. That's a pretty big spot there. I just picked that up. And this will fit in here if I trim it down, won't it? So I'm trimming my trash. Sometimes I like to make my trash beautiful. Like I said, and I'll die cut. I got some more scraps over here. I can just collage up a whole page. I got some more of that red too. Red goes with this here. Nothing has to go. I could put something else on this page though too. Okay, now I'm looking through this little box that was sitting over there. Just pulling out a couple of things. I have enough trash to last me forever and ever and ever. Amen. All right, now here's a little gnome and he's ringing a bell. So I think he's telling people it's time to, what? He's ringing the bell. Time to come in for dinner. Time to come in for dinner, maybe. Time to come in. It's time to... He's telling people it's time to do something. I think I'll leave that brown one off. I'm blocking the light with my trash. I'm going to do something like that. Okay, now I take a piece of newspaper and look for my glue stick. Here's my glue stick. You can use liquid glue, glue stick, double-sided tape. Double-sided tape is good for some of the packaging. You can use stapler. You can use what? Sewing. You can sew in anything. Any kind of adhesive you want to. Now this is a little thicker, and it's a little bit shiny. I'm going to use this beacon glue here. I still got the paint on the table from last night. I was painting my tags. They're rather splashing everywhere. I was editing last night. I always like to do a little bit of editing, and there were splash marks on the lens of the camera. It was really funny. I kind of cropped those out, but I cleaned it off, so it should be okay today. I hope it's clean enough. And on my glasses, little paint splatters. Oh, I like that. See, now I did 3 things on one page. That is one way to do the Trashy. Another way is just to grab and glue things in randomly, like these pieces were just kind of put in randomly. This is waiting for something to go there. This I have netting, and I used a hole punch to punch out candy wrapper there. I got another one of those little bell ringing gnomes over there. Okay, I found this from a calendar. Pretty winter picture, and I've got that word winter. I'm trying to do more with words. There's a pretty winter page there. That's scraps from scrapbooking papers. Okay, I'm just looking to see if I've got an empty page. I might want to cover up these trucks. I think that would be nice there. I think this fold out's got quite a bit on it there. I knew what I could do. I could put part there and part over there with the word winter. See, and it's not going to cover the whole thing, but you know, that's not something we really care about. We don't care about cutting. We don't care about measuring. This might make some people crazy, but you know, this is trashing. And if you want to measure and cut and do all that, you know, that's up to you. You want to do that? Go right ahead. Go right ahead. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I'm telling you, if you get a little crazy, and if it's like making angst, or in Italian we say, if it's giving you agita, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I kind of like the light on the, you know. See, the sunset's being reflected in the pond. I kind of like that. So I'm going to rip this. And the problem is when I start ripping up pictures like this, I just wind up with smaller scraps. And that's why I have small. Smaller journals for the smaller scraps. Yeah, let's see if I can get this to fit on here. I am not going to cut it. I am just going to rip. Let's see if I can take just a little bit off. So I got to look for a box and combine all my little trash together. I don't think I'm going to separate the little, although maybe I will. Separate the little trash out into little trash and littler trash. I don't know. Could get crazy. Could get crazy with that, right? Ah, now that fits on there good. Nice, nice, nice. And when they get sticky, I fold it over. So I'll probably end the video. But I'm probably going to want to keep on trashing a little more anyway. Cutting out words is always fun. And that's something else I need to go work on is my ransom letters. Ransom, like in movies when they show you a ransom note after someone's been kidnapped and they cut out the letters or words from magazines and newspapers. So what you do is you go through a bunch of magazines and newspapers or books, doesn't matter, and you cut out the letters and you put them in a nice organizer, and then when you journal you can pull them out. See, I like that. I think that came out really nice. Of course, inside is spring, outside is winter, but what comes after winter? Spring. I should find something spring-like to put over there. Is this a card? Oh no, that's just pasted down. See, now I have this smaller piece, and oh look, here's a possum left over from yesterday. I can go somewhere. Now this is what I was talking about, grab and glue. Grab and glue. This Craft Bond Extra Strength works pretty good with fabric. Oops. I can make him go the right way. I'm going to stick him down right there. Look at that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now I can still add something at the top and the bottom if I wanted to. I got this really pretty scrap from gel plate printing. I love the colors on this one. This is more of like a background piece or a side strip, or it could go across the top and the bottom of something, or down the middle. Or down the middle. See, I like the pumpkin and the fall trees on each side. So I could just put it like right there. So these journals don't have to be done until you declare it done. So I could put that right on there. I'm going to put it right there. No hard decisions. Make it easy, easy, easy. Did I say I was going to quit? You know me when I start my trashy. Alright, I'm going to put this on the card. Like that. I could add more to it on that side. And just trim this off. Like that. And where was it from? Alright, so let's get a little bit of a color on there now. So I'm going to say goodbye to you right now. And if you would like to join in this open collab, You can make any kind of trashy journal that you want to, mini or monster. You can sew in the signatures or glue them in however you want to. You can post on any day of the week. And as far as trash is concerned, some people are a little hazy on what is trash. And to me, anything that would have gotten thrown away. So if somebody's going to throw out some books or just get rid of them, it's their trash. It becomes your treasure. If you're, I don't know what this is from. You can use, now I would have thrown this out because it's too small to die cut anything off of. I don't know. Some people make little clusters and little collages, but to tell you what, I'm not really into doing that. So what I would do is just take this then and, you know, put it in as a trim in the journal. So I would just add it somewhere, you know, like there. So I'm calling this trash because I probably just would have put this in the garbage. If I didn't have these little mini trashy books like this, this would have gone in the garbage. This is an old calendar, book pages, calendars, magazines, any kind of consumables, coloring books, envelopes, junk mail, food packaging. And like I said, I claim that scraps from scrapbooking paper is trash too. Because if it's anything that you would put in the trash, you know, if you've got something you've been die cutting on, now I could take this back and do some more die cutting. So that's not all trash yet. Cards, any kind of cards that you get. And I know everything was bought at some point. I mean, you can't say it can't be anything that was bought because, you know, cards were bought, but once the card gets sent to you, most people just throw their cards away. Some people keep them, I know. Anything that comes off the top of a package. Isn't that cute? Look at the little rabbit. Tags on your clothes. Anything like that. Now, you're not going to go out and, you know, like buy stuff for your trashy. Although you might, I mean, but you can use stuff that you have bought that maybe is left over from a project, and you know you're done with the project. So what are you going to do with, you know, the little bits that were left over? Give them away in Happy Mail, I guess, right? Or you can. Where did I put those winter pictures? Because we had winter on the outside and we were putting spring on the inside. See, look. How cute. We're going to put these guys right there. I told you I couldn't stop. You know, so it's like, or you can just experiment. Like, oh, maybe someday I'd like to, you know, sew in a journal. But I've never done it before. Well, practice in a trashy. Practice in a trashy, and then, you know, and then you're good to go. All right, I'm going to say goodbye.